The new offense here, the scheme, what you've learned about it to this point, how can it kind of accentuate what you do well, what your strengths are?
Yeah, I think it's a great scheme. I'm not gonna tell you no X's and O's, of course, but I definitely think it's good for me and the guys as well. Just learning something new and being able to kind of hit the ground running and understand like it's different, but it's definitely gonna be.
What has that experience been like for you, having new coaches, learning new stuff for the first time in your NFL career?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a part of being a professional. You have to always adapt to change and always understand that change is a recurring thing in this league. So, me being who I am, I just come to work every day being the best me I can be and try to get better every day and try to help everybody else around me to be better too.
Are you primarily watching the Packers tape as you guys kind of go over the offense and see some of this stuff, or what's he showing you
Hey,
of Green Bay?
football.
How would you describe Luke Getsy's teaching style offensively and sort of his approach to you guys and the nuances of the base that you're learning?
Yeah. Coach Getz, as early on, as much as I know him, or what I know of him, he's a great coach. He's definitely walking us through it, taking us through it step by step. So nothing going over in our heads. So it's learning right now. It's a process and a period of just learning. So time for us all to put it together. It could be crisp.
He comes from a place where they obviously had a Hall of Fame quarterback, but they had a run game to support what they were doing offensively. How do you feel like that's going to translate here, and how confident does that make you as a running back and knowing you'll be part of something like that?
Yeah, I think I'm just confident in who I am already. Like, I know God has gifted me with an ability. God has gifted me with opportunities every day to wake up to be the best that I can be. So, however it may look, however it may come, I'm just here for whatever it may be.
Without going into X's and O's, in a general sense, can you say what this scheme does, what opportunities this scheme will present that the previous one did not, whether it involves a running back or not?
That I cannot answer. That's a pretty wide-based question, but I I don't know how to answer that.
David, what have you liked about the way that Eberflus has been running things? What have you seen from him that's been refreshing to you, or that is a good change for you?
I think change is always good. So I think Coach Flus coming in, being who he is, and he kind of the way he carried himself and the demeanor that he carried himself by, I appreciate. And like you said, change at times and can be very refreshing. So I'm just seeing how he is and kind of coach he is and the kind of energy, enthusiasm he brings already. I think it's pretty dope to see.
David, Coach Eberflus said last month that he was looking for M&M guys who played mean and from motor, and he singled you out as somebody he said he could already tell is an M&M guy. How does it feel to be recognized for that aggressive play style?
For me, I definitely appreciate the being recognized in that manner, but I also understand like who I am and the kind of character that I have. So that's just how I carry out myself day to day. Just want to be the best me that I can be and always improving. So however it may be or however it may look, I want to be sure that I hit it.
David, you're entering the final year of your contract. Do you think about that?
No, not really. Because at the end of the day, like whether I'm going to my second year or my first year, I still got to play football and I still got to perform. So I can really, care less about, the contract terms. I'm excited to be here. Guys too.
You talk to anybody about an extension yet?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the extension is.
David, you mentioned changes, constant changes can be good, but it's a little unusual. More than half your teammates from last year are gone now. How do you handle that much change, and how has it impacted you as you try and go forward?
Yeah, it's definitely new. Just seeing a couple of my guys not being here, it kind of puts you on the edge a little bit. Like, oh, is it a question that I'll be here? Just being a realist about things. But you can't really look at it like that. You kind of just gotta, wake up every day with that. Like I said, the mentality just to grow and be the best you can be, and try to be better, the best you can be for everybody else as well. Because at the end of the day, it's about helping each other, self-servicing each other, so we can all reach a common goal.
David, as you said, change is good. With what you know about the coaching staff, all the introductory stuff, what are you most excited about heading into this season?
Everything, just like I said, change is good a lot of times. It may be uncomfortable, it may be challenging because you're so used to going by things a certain way, but in the end of it, you realize that it betters you as a person and as a player, so I'm excited to see what's to come.
When you think about Justin last year, and now you step in the building with him this week, what do you see that's different?
I think his hair got a little longer, and like he wears different kind of shoes too. So I think like his fashions looks pretty cool.
So that's improved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
How about the football presence?
Oh, the football? He can still throw pretty good. He runs pretty fast too. So I think Justin's Justin.
Last year you said that last offseason you worked on your speed, getting faster. Is there anything that you worked on specifically in this offseason?
I think more speed and, also just being more aware and understanding defenses better so that I can put myself in the best position to be successful and so that I can help my offense as well.
David, you said you're not thinking about the contract, but can you draw motivation from the idea of proving yourself to not just the Bears, but 31 other teams?
Like I said, I get up every day thanking God for the opportunity that I have. And I've never been about proving anybody wrong. I've always been about proving myself right. Because at the end of the day, when it comes down who you have trust in besides God, it's got to be yourself. Because when I go home and I look at myself in the mirror and I challenge myself on what I did good or what I could do better, I got to face that. I got to look that man in the mirror. And when it's all said and done, when I get done playing ball and the legacy that I leave, and my kids grow up to be who they be and they see their dad for what they see him as, I want them to be, remembered in a positive light and for their dad being who he say he is. So, I take everything serious, and I also look at it through the finer things in life and understanding that, how I carry myself and how I wake up every day and how I challenge myself, is the definition of who I am.
How can you be better by knowing defense is better? How does that work?
Just learning different coverages, different rotations, and like pressures. Also understanding different things that the defensive line does. Like, if he has his hand down or if he has another hand down, what does he do when he has that hand down? It's just certain small things, as you get throughout, like your career throughout the league. Like, okay, well this year was like, I look at it like college. Like my freshman year or my first year was like 100 level classes. My second year, 200 level classes. So like you always just try to find ways to improve, but as I get older, the game slows down, and I want to be able to be sharper and more crisp in recognizing things at this point in my career.
David, you're on your third position coach in as many years, right? What is that like in terms of getting to know them, getting to know how they teach? Is it strange? Is it awkward?
It's the NFL. Like I said, everything changes constantly. It's a recurring thing that happens. That changes. It always happens. So you just got to understand and know you got to be open-minded by a lot of things. And also understanding, like, coaches coach different ways. So I just try to take, everything that I took from my last coach and the coach before and just try to implement it into my new coach. And, just try to – because there was definitely things that I learned from each coach that has been helping me through my career, because if it hadn't, I wouldn't be in the league no more.
When you're looking at defenses, have you sought out advice from defensive coaches or some of your defensive teammates?
I have not. That's probably something I should probably do. Thank you for that advice.
This is your first season with a fullback out in front of you. How do you think that'll affect your season as a whole, just having a dedicated lead blocker?
I think it's going to affect it a lot, because whenever I get done with a run, I can celebrate with my fullback and come up with a handshake, too.
David, you into anything new? We've talked about your bowling and your other outside interests. You into anything new this year?
Anything new?
The violin?
Nah, I ain't really been on a violin. I've been hiking a lot. Like traveling to Arizona, Like me and my girl, we go to Arizona. We go, like a couple weeks ago, we went to Arizona and we did, I think it's Squaw Peak. Almost died. But it was worth the hype.